Mike Masnick from TechDirt recently wrote an article, LA Court Abusing Copyright Law to Take Down Unauthorized Recording of Britney Spears' Hearing. Recently, Britney Spears had a hearing about her conservatorship, and if you're not familiar with that, I bet you can find videos all over YouTube about it. Britney Spears has been under the management of her father, I think it is, in a legal relationship after she's turned 18, where basically the conservator, her father, controls everything. I'm sure there's more details to it, so go read some sources, go watch some videos about that. But recently, she has wanted to be released from that conservatorship. I think she's wanted to be released for a very long time. And if I understand the accusations correctly, she is very unhappy with the way her career and personal life have been managed by her father, the conservator. So she is pursuing whatever legal action she can to correct that situation. And when it comes to a head and there's something to be reviewed, I will review it on the YouTube channel. But Mike Masnick says that someone released an unauthorized recording of the hearing. Courtrooms these days are having a lot of Zoom hearings thanks to COVID, and maybe this is something that we would like to see more of. Well, I predicted last week, though, that these unauthorized recordings were going to make courthouses and courtrooms think twice about having these open video court hearings. These policies of no recording are quite common in many courthouses, and Mike thinks they're bad policy. I think the recordings should be more available, he says, and I agree. It's going to be difficult to stop recording. Recording is very useful for reviewing these things, so I'm not sure what power the court has to prevent these recordings from being released. Of course, the judge themselves can order any party that it has jurisdiction over to not record, and can probably hold in contempt anyone who attended the hearing and recorded it. But this court decided to issue a DMCA takedown notice. Mike says the recording was taken down due to a copyright claim by Superior Court of California, Los Angeles, and you can see that here on my screen. The court announced that it's shutting down its remote audio program because of the recording. Effective June 28th, the court will no longer offer the remote audio attendance program. The court implemented this temporary program during the pandemic. Widespread breaches by the public in a recent court proceeding highlighted the need to return to in-person open courtroom proceedings, which is a welcome development. Under California state and local rules, no recordings of court hearings are allowed without advance permission. Any violation of this rule or an order made under this rule is an unlawful interference with the proceedings of the court and may be the basis for an order terminating media coverage, a citation for contempt of court, or an order imposing monetary or other sanctions as provided by law. When asked what the court's general policy is on taking action, the court said parties who publish unauthorized recordings of court proceedings in violation of the court order are subject to sanctions and other potential liability pursuant to California Civil Procedure Section 1209 and other applicable law. But that's not copyright. So a DMCA takedown is not a silver bullet or catch-all for taking down videos that you don't like. It is only for taking down videos that you own the copyright, the underlying copyright, or that videos that have infringed your copyright, and you want that video taken down for violation of your copyright. So you have to consider fair use, because fair use is not a violation of your copyright. But you also have to consider who owns the video or who made the video and whether it is copyrightable at all. The video in this case is made by a court system. A court system is a public, as in government, entity, and they don't own copyrights. The government does not own a copyright to things the government creates. There are some roundabout ways that a government can create something and there still be a copyright on it, but that's where like the government hires a photographer to take some pictures and then license the pictures to the government, and the photographer still owns the copyright. Or the government hires a company to create some marketing materials, and the marketing materials are simply licensed to the government and the exclusive rights holder is still the marketing company. Those are situations where you might have a copyright. We saw the Blackbeard pictures from, I forget who the plaintiff was, against the state of North Carolina, who had posted the pictures without authorization. And it was upheld that the pictures are still the copyright of the salvage company, even though the state of North Carolina claims to own the Blackbeard shipwreck. That's a different direction, though. In this case, it's the County of Los Angeles, Superior Court of California, that is making the video. And whether they release the video or not, whether they can order someone not to release the video from their video conference, those are separate questions. What they don't have is a copyright, and they can't use copyright to take down a video. They might be able to issue an order threatening sanctions or just outright sanctioning the party that released the recording. They might be able to open an investigation. There might be some civil violation or contempt of court violation that could be further pursued, have an evidentiary hearing, subpoena YouTube for the identity of the creator that did that, issue a court order or an injunction to YouTube taking down the video, but not a DMCA. A DMCA is simply a shortcut to getting the video taken down through a really easy form that you get to file. You get to fill out a form or fill in a very short set of requirements and then send it off. Funny thing, in those requirements, the claimant has to state that they have a good faith belief that the use of the material complained of is not authorized by the copyright owner, its agent, or the law, and a statement that the notification is accurate under penalty of perjury. So I kind of wonder, did the court perjure itself by writing and signing and sending a DMCA notice that was basically illegal, was a misrepresentation? I think that is. I think it's some kind of perjury that you don't own a copyright and you sent a notice under copyright claiming that you own something that you don't own the right to. You might have other rights to it, but the court did not own the copyright. So I think the court perjured itself. So that happened. And that's really interesting. And like I said, it looks like it's been resolved because the video is back up and there's no claim on the video. It's got 5 million views, which reinforces what Mike and I both said at the beginning of this thing. Why don't we just record and post court proceedings anyway? Well, the reverse of that is kind of like the L. Lynn Wood situation I recently did a video about, where when a lawyer is in front of the court, but also knows that the recording is going to be used for media purposes later, that sort of encourages people to misbehave, to play to the audience and not to the court. But that's always been a problem. It's just that the audience is much larger when it's recorded and posted on the internet for everyone in the world to see. I don't know what the solution is. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Is there an in-between where you could have people join the court hearing, but they have to register? Well, we don't make people register when they join court hearings in real life. At the same time, if you're in the gallery and you're recording against the court's wishes, you can be held in contempt. The marshal can arrest you. You can be held in criminal contempt until you delete your recording. The court can use contempt to compel behavior, and the court can also use contempt to punish bad behavior. Mostly the court's supposed to use it to deter bad behavior. Really interesting situation. Let me know what you think in the comments below. And that's today's video. Special thanks to our top supporters in July: John Steele, Gavin Barnard, Eevi, Spirit Bear, Benjamin Hitov, Ugly Grill, Rudolph Bescherer Jr., Torpedan, Brandyn, Abel, ShadowTycho, RDHDragon, Earthbound Star, and PureMagma. You can support Lawful Masses on patreon.com/ljfrench, sponsors.com/law, through YouTube memberships, and through Floatplane subscriptions. Join me for our weekly live production stream on twitch.tv/lawfulmasses on Sunday mornings at 10 a.m. Eastern U.S. time. I hope everyone has a great week. I love you all. Bye.